Welcome back to San Diego Living. Well, if Steve Austin, the $6 million man, were here right now, he'd be worth about $1.50. When we used to watch that show and we thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool if someday is here and beyond. We've got a special guest here this morning. Randy Mason is with Scope Orthotics and Prosthetics, and what he has brought today is nothing short of amazing. And this is just one example of what's out there now in terms of new prosthetics. Good to see you, Randy.
Nice to be here.
Tell me how far things have really come just in the last few years.
The last few years, the major advancements had been, particularly in upper extremity prosthetics, has been in the having hands now that have multi-articulated fingers.
I went to your website and was looking at this. Is this the iLimb?
This is the iLimb.
It's called the iLimb. Okay, I went to the website and looked at this thing, and I said, I've got to see this in person because it boggles the mind how well this thing is able to handle delicate tasks.
Yeah, we've had externally powered hands for 35 plus years, but the technology up until about the last 2 or 3 years, the advancements have primarily been in battery technology, kind of refining the control methods for opening and closing the externally powered devices. And then since the development of the iLimb, now we have fingers that are being multi-articulated, and each one has its own individual motor in it, allows much more refined motion and control.
Now, who's a candidate for this, first off?
Basically any patient that has an amputation of the upper extremity where there is some remaining residual limb, either through the humerus or through the forearm.
You've got to be dealing with a lot of our veterans at this point, I would think.
Actually, the Department of Defense has set up prosthetic care centers for their wounded warriors coming back. So they're pretty much taking care of their own right now.
So they're kind of handled separately. So this is, we're talking about the civilian population in large part.
Yeah. Well, once those soldiers come out of the service and go into the VA system, then we'll start seeing them.
Got it. Okay. Well, can we demonstrate this in some way? And kind of.
Absolutely.
Now, this is the older technology you were telling me here.
Exactly. This is the older technology, and the function really hasn't changed a lot. You basically just have this 3-jaw prehension that goes on, where these 3 fingers, the thumb and these 2 fingers, are driven, and they're only articulated at the MP joints, or the joints right here at the where the fingers join the hand.
Right. So it's a rudimentary, but still pretty lifelike and able to get the job done.
The advancements have been the battery technology got better, our control methods got better, where if a patient can open it slowly or fast, they can control the grip force. But the basic function hasn't changed in 35 years.
Now, you want me to try to demonstrate this in some fashion? I have no experience with this at all.
You don't need it. If you can move your wrist, we can demonstrate how this works.
Let me roll my sleeve up here then.
Okay. I'm just going to turn it on here so we know. Now, what we're using for the control method is called myoelectrics. And basically what's happening is when you fire a muscle, electrical impulse comes from your nerve and it spreads through the muscle from fiber to fiber. Skin is a great conductor of electricity, so we can detect that muscle firing through the skin by the electrical current that's going through it.
So the sensors on the skin actually can detect what you are trying to move that is no longer actually there.
That's no longer there. So if you'll just put your wrist in a nice neutral position and just relax.
Relax. Okay.
Yeah, the hardest part.
Yeah, it really is.
You have a lot of hair here, so make it a little difficult.
We might have a hard time making contact. I would have shaved had I have known.
Yeah. Get it back down there.
Okay.
Getting a little too much interference here. That should work. And will you pull your wrist down for me? Down this way.
Down that way. Okay.
There you go. Pull hard. Now, and flex your fingers. Okay, good.
Oh, and flex my fingers. Okay. How long would it take somebody to actually learn how to use this when they're first fitted for this prosthesis?
It takes almost no time at all, actually, because you're going to do the same things you would normally do to open and close your hand. So if you'll pull your wrist up, just up a little higher.
Oh.
And now pull it down. Okay.
Okay.
If you keep the contraction going for more than 2 seconds, It's going to switch modes from doing the entire hand. You need to relax in between his.
Oh, okay, to reset.
Okay. Okay, just relax. And now
Relax.
Pull, and pull down with your wrist. And relax. And pull up with the wrist. And the fingers. There
And
you
the
go.
fingers. Okay, now that's amazing, folks. Now, I've got to believe that somebody who is wanting one of these devices can learn how to use this pretty quickly, because very quickly, as you were giving me feedback, I was able to immediately start to feel, and you forget about your hand, and you start to think about concentrating on the muscles down here, and that's probably the key to the whole thing. Now, at Scope, you do a lot more than just this. This is one of the absolute showpiece items right now, but between the orthotics and the prosthetics, you're just able to do amazing things for people that were not available just years ago. So we need to really have folks kind of check you out and recontact you if they've been dealing with the same prosthetics or orthotics for a period of time now.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of new fitting techniques. The most important part of any prosthesis is the interface, the socket portion that the patient interfaces with, both in upper extremity and in lower extremity, where you're actually bearing weight through the device. And there's been some changes just recently within the last year that have greatly improved the comfort and control that patients can experience with their prosthesis.
Well, it's absolutely amazing. I hope you'll come back and talk to us more, because as I went through the website, I noticed things like you can replace individual digits now. If somebody's just losing one finger or maybe several fingers on one hand, you can do a partial replacement with the same type of device like this. It's mind-boggling.
All right.
Thanks for coming in and
thanks for having us.
Sharing with us so much and for letting me demonstrate. Randy Moss with Scope Orthotics and Prosthetics. All right, why not start your weekend with a little laugh here? Don't miss Carlos Mencia right here, live, coming up. Plus, Kelly will tell us what she thought of the new Will Ferrell movie, The Other Guys, when San Diego Living returns.